Good evening, YouTube. I'm back again with another album review, and what inspired me to do a review on this band is because I got an interesting gift, if you could call it a gift from me to me, but a gift in the mail today. And I've been expecting this. I got this recently on Amazon, and I'd never heard this album before, but I got Hawkwind's Choose Your Mask, their 1982 album. Just got this in the mail, and I heard this for the first time ever on my way to work, my first day of work today, and my way home from work, and then I listened to it again on when I got home. And I thought it was about time I do a Hawkwind review because I am a huge Hawkwind fan. I love a lot of their stuff. I love Dave Brock. I haven't seen Dave Brock, but I did go see Nick Turner's Hawkwind a few weeks ago, actually, at Red 7 in Austin, Texas, and got to get my picture taken with him. He signed my Fallen Angel limited edition 500 copy red vinyl 7-inch. So that's something I'll have to show on YouTube pretty shortly. But as you can see, I've got the Hawkwind shirt. I'll show it to you. I bought this shirt at the concert. The Search for Space album cover. They had some cool shirts. I had to get this one because I love the cover and I love this album. This is one of my favorite Hawkwind albums. So this I thought was the coolest one that they had. So right now I'm all Hawkwind up. So the album that I wanted to review, and again, like I was going to say, Hawkwind needs to have some album reviews because there's only one review I could find of a Hawkwind album on YouTube, and that was by Dave the Donkey. He did a review for Levitation. And unless there's some other reviews out there that are just so far buried, I couldn't find them. So I'm going to do a review on this album, a very obscure Hawkwind album that some Hawkwind fans might not know exists, but I was at Waterloo Records about a year ago, I guess, and I was looking through their Hawkwind CDs and wanted to get one I hadn't seen or wasn't familiar with, so I'm reviewing this one. This one is the Xenon Codex. Hawkwind's 1988 album. This is their last album to close out the decade of the 80s. Let's see, there's some good artwork there. I like the artwork. There's a cool drawings of the band. 5-piece band. Bob Walker was the artist for this. Really liked his job on that CD. So the Xenon Codex by Hawkwind. My first Hawkwind review. I'm excited. So let's get on with the review. First, we'll talk about the lineup. Of course, you know, Dave Brock is always there. I mean, he basically is Hawkwind. So Dave Brock on guitar, keyboards, and vocals. Harvey Bainbridge, keyboards, vocals. The late great Huw-Lloyd Langton on guitar. Alan Davey on bass and vocals, and drummer Danny Thompson Jr. On drums. Danny Thompson Jr. on drums. So let's talk about the album. As I said, this whole album was new to me. I had never heard it before when I first got it, and it opens up, starts off with the music starting off real quiet with space sounds and fading in, and then it keeps fading in, and then it gets into what's at the max volume that the song's going to be. It goes into a hard rocking "The War I Survived" with Dave and the boys harmonizing, and this is a very standout track. This song will just lure you in. This is a great opener. I really like "The War I Survived." It's very fiery, hot rocker. So I'll definitely say this is a great song. Look up "The War I Survived" on YouTube. I'm going to recommend that to you, as well as some of these other songs you should check out. Wastelands of Sleep is going down, taking the mood down a little. Very slow, very spacey sounds, a lot of keyboard, guitar, and Dave Brock singing. This one's okay. This one just doesn't really hit me in the same vein as how it opened with "The War I Survived," but it's not bad. It's worth checking out. But Wastelands of Sleep is song number 2. Number 3, we have Neon Skyline, and this opens up with more space sounds, and this is actually the progressive piece on the album. It goes on, and it's like a rocker, like "The War I Survived," and Alan Davey is singing with this one, harmonizing with the boys, or maybe he's harmonizing with himself. You can definitely hear some harmonies that he's doing. And this is very good. Lots of space sounds. Really love the sound effects in this song. Neon Skyline is definitely a very, very good winner on here. And then they start this rocking song off about 2 minutes, and then it goes into a mellow song with kind of ambient keyboards, and then Huw-Lloyd Langton playing this guitar part over it. It's slow, it's mellow, it's relaxing, it's very ambient, and it's awesome. It's great. You're just relaxing after you were rocking out. You get into this big mood, and which is part of the Lost Chronicles piece of this song. And this goes on for about 2-3 minutes, I don't know, and then eventually they go right back. But before that, you hear the sound effect of what sounds like a watch ticking, or maybe two sharp knives rubbing against each other. I like that sound. And then, bam, you go right back into Neon Skyline. This is perfect. This is a great, great, great winner on here. One of my hit singles, personally. Tides. This one's another really great one. This is one that Huw-Lloyd Langton wrote. It's him doing this guitar pattern that sounds really good. And then he plays a lead over it. And there's, I believe, some sound effects in this one as well. But this is another ambient sounding one I really like. A very relaxing song. It works for the album. Heads starts off, it's keyboards fading in. And it's kind of a mid-tempo song with Dave Brock singing on this one. And it's another one that I quite like. This is one that is a very accessible Hawkwind song on the album, and a good chorus delivery. The way they deliver the chorus when they're singing on this is good. So Mutation Zone is after Heads, and that one, it's okay. It's kind of comic book like, kind of like a futuristic comic book. In fact, some of this artwork looks kind of comic book, and that to me is cool. If you like comic books, I think they're pretty cool. Mutation Zone's got like these talking over it, this real futuristic sound. It sounds like you first hear a sound of like some industrial machinery sounding like the future, kind of like that kind of is what it kind of brings you to think about. Like when you see that cover art, you kind of think of sounds like that. Or at least I do. Mutation Zone, it's okay. It's not not bad. It's just it kind of sounds like if it's Dave Brock or Harvey Bainbridge, I don't know who it is, but it sounds like they're kind of rapping over this song a little bit. It's a decent song. Not my favorite, but I kind of like it. EMC is basically just kind of sounds kind of like improvisation, kind of a jam type song. Not really. Yeah, this one just doesn't do anything for me. And then we go to Sword of the East, which I really like. This is a very memorable song. Starts off with this, the keyboards again fade in, and then it goes into the guitar, and then Brock and the boys harmonizing, and very much, if you like classic Hawkwind, you should really like this song. This is a very memorable song. I really like Sword of the East. This one really does it for me. I think this one's very good. And then the album ends with the weakest and silliest track, Good Evening, which is just, it's like a upbeat kind of song, and it's got really silly lyrics sung by Alan Davey and Brock and the boys, and then it stops, and it just, you hear sound effects, and then it goes back into a rocking jam, and then at the very end you hear all this like cartoon noise nonsense, and that's the end. Definitely the weakest one. This one, Good Evening, doesn't do much for me. But so I've just talked about the Xenon Codex by Hawkwind, their 15th studio album. This is the 15th album by Hawkwind, and this is one that I like the album, but it was one that I had to keep listening to, and I just finished listening to it again to give a thorough review, and I went back to listen to it and really enjoyed it. There was some stuff on here I really do like. To give it a grade, I think the best I can give this is probably a B. I'd say I'd give Xenon Codex a B. There's some stuff, as I said, songs we're checking out. The War I Survived. If you have not heard that, definitely listen to that. Neon Skyline and Sword of the East. if you want to really rock out to songs on this album, those are the ones to really rock out to. These are really great songs. But yeah, this is, if you do not have this album and you are familiar and you have a collection of some of the older stuff from the 70s, this is definitely one to get. If you are not familiar with Hawkwind besides Silver Machine, you definitely wouldn't want to start here. I would say go and start with albums such as In Search of Space, Do Re Mi Fa Sol La Ti Do, Hall of the Mountain Grill, or Warrior of Time as a good introduction. Those are really good ones to start with. My first album was actually the self-titled one. I bought that one first because the album cover was cool, which is, you know, I like that one. Yeah, I mean, those are the ones I would recommend you to start off with. So, again, this is my first Hawkwind review. Excited to do this Hawkwind review. I love Hawkwind. Never seen Dave's version of Hawkwind, but Nick Turner's Hawkwind was pretty amazing, pretty intense, and it meant a lot to me. I got to meet Nick Turner, and I got my picture taken with him, and I bought a rare copy of he had these singles, this red 7-inch vinyl single of Fallen Angel from his Space Gypsy album that he put out last year, and I had him sign it, so now it's even more valuable. But yeah, it was a great night. So that's my review for Hawkwind's Xenon Codex. I hope you enjoyed the review, and really should do some more Hawkwind because they're not talked about, or they're not reviewed enough on YouTube. So that's my review. B for Xenon Codex, 1988, the last album of the 80s. And I'll see what else I have. Got some ideas. I'll see what else I want to do. And thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. Subscribe if you want. And tell me what you thought of the Xenon Codex. Tell me how you felt about that album. Very obscure album by Hawkwind. Very underrated. So I'd really like to know what you thought of the later 80s period. Alright. Thanks for watching. I will see you later on YouTube. And rock on, everybody. Good night.